In this video, we're going to review how to find slope when you're given 2 points. All right, to do this, we're going to use our slope formula. We learned that slope is represented by an m, so we say slope is equal to, you take your second y and subtract the first y, put it over your second x and subtract the first x. But we studied in class that it's okay to do first y subtract second y, but if you do that, that means on bottom you also have to start with first x and subtract second x. You just have to stay consistent, okay? All right, on the first example, I'm going to model it just like the slope formula where we do our subtraction from left to right. On the second example, I'm going to model it where we're working horizontally, setting it up like you're used to seeing a subtraction problem. Okay, so on the first example, I know slope is equal to, oh my m disappeared. Okay, second y is 13 because in order pairs it goes x, y. So I have 13, and now it says take away. Now I need my first x, first y. This is x, y. So my first y I see is a 7. On bottom, I need my second x because I started with a second y. All right, second x is at 15. Then it says to subtract, and I need my first x, which the first x is negative 14. Notice I end up with that 2 negatives or minus a negative. That situation, we say we have to wake it up, is what we say to remember to do that. All right, now all I have to do is simplify. On top, for my rise, I've got 13 take away 7. Well, 13 take away 7 is 6. On bottom, I now see I've got 15 plus 14. 15 plus 14 is 29. So that makes the slope 6/29. All right, for those of you who like to work horizontally, let me show you how we could do that. What we want to do here is we want to set one ordered pair on top of the other. So I'm going to do this in red. I'm going to go 1, -1, and then we've got 7, 7. I'm going to work with those separately. I'm going to put in my subtraction symbols for each because both is subtraction. So on the left, I think 1 minus 7 is -6. On the right, I've got -1 minus 7. Well, -1 take away 7 is -8. So now I've got to remember which one is my rise. My rise is my y's value. Hear how that rhymes? Y's, rise. Well, the y's are on the right, so my rise in -8 has to go on top. And now that makes my x value my run, which is -6. Finally, I'd realize I've got 2 negatives, so those would become positive because of the division rule for negatives. So I've got 8/6, which is an acceptable slope, but I like to go ahead and reduce it. They both divide by 2 and see it as 4/3.